Hey guys, I really don't feel like cooking right now, but you gotta eat. So I'm gonna show you how to make a really fast tuna salad. It tastes good, it's very high in protein, it's high in fat, very low in carbs, and best of all, it goes really quick. Now obviously this is gonna be based upon tuna fish, okay? Tuna is, like, in my opinion, one of the perfect foods of the world. It is basically just pure protein. It's also kind of protein that you can digest well. It's a very high quality protein. There's like no carbs, very little fat. The little bit of fat in tuna fish obviously comes from fish oil, which we all know is a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just take 2 cans of tuna, okay? Drain the cans of tuna. And I'm going to go ahead and put them in a bowl. I'm using 2 cans of tuna because I like to eat a lot of protein, okay? One of these cans of tuna is like 0 carbs, maybe 1 gram of fat, and 20 grams of protein. That's a little bit light for me. So what I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put in 2 cans of tuna. Okay, obviously, if you're a woman, if you're a little bit smaller, if you just don't want to eat that much protein, you could go ahead and just use 1 can. But this is going to be the base of the meal, obviously. Cheap, good, pure protein. Okay. The fact is, this is really good. I respect protein as a meal. I respect protein as a food, but I really don't like eating protein. Eating tuna fish out of the can. So that's how you can tell this is a good recipe, because if I can eat it, and I fucking hate eating tuna out of the can, if I can eat this and enjoy it, it's a good recipe. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and add to it are some jalapenos. As you know from my condiments video, I always have a little Tupperware container of chopped jalapenos. I buy them sliced, and then I cut them into each slice into 4 pieces, keep them in a Tupperware container. So on days like today, where I'm not in the fucking mood to go ahead and just chop shit up, the shit's already made. I'm going to use a large teaspoon of this, okay? In general, when my girlfriend came up with this recipe, she said use a teaspoon, but the fact is, like I said, I doubled up on the tuna, so I'm also going to double up on the jalapenos, okay? I'm also going to use a large teaspoon of my chopped up red onions. This container, if you take 1 onion, okay, and you chop it up, you fill up this container, okay? So this is actually, it looks like a lot, but it's not a whole lot of chopped onions, okay? And take some mustard. Once again, for a can of tuna, you put in a teaspoon, okay? For 2 cans, I'm just going to go ahead and put in a very large heaping teaspoon. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to add just a little bit more. You really can't fuck up too much with mustard, okay? If you like mustard, put a little bit extra in, because the thing is, it's basically nothing, okay? It's basically 0 calories, 0 macros, 0 everything, okay? So don't be worried about putting in a little bit extra mustard. Mayo's some good stuff, okay? It's basically pure fat. That's actually, if you're going to go on a diet where you're supposed to go into ketosis, okay, where you're basically eating very few carbs and you're pumping up the fat, you're going to get all of your energy from fat, okay? So you need to make sure, that's, actually a problem, believe it or not, with tuna, is that it's so low calories and it's so low fat that you actually have to add fat to it, okay, to be able to support your body during this diet. So that's what the mayonnaise is for. This is basically pure fat. And once again, like I said, when my girlfriend came up with this, she said put in a tablespoon, but since I'm doubling up on the amount of tuna I put in, I'm going to put in a massive heaping teaspoon and a little bit more. Tablespoon and a little bit more here. Okay? And that's it. You're basically done right now. Okay, as you see, I tried to flatten out the tuna, okay, and put all this stuff towards the middle to make it a little bit easier to mix. If you don't like jalapenos, don't put them in, okay? I know when I was a kid, we'd make tuna sandwiches and we would put chopped celery in it. You could try that, okay? Or you could just leave it completely out, okay? I basically like it because, like I said, I hate eating tuna, okay? So I like to put the onions in, and I like to put the jalapenos in because I like to taste my food. That's what the jalapenos are for, and it also makes it gives it a consistency. It's not like you're eating damn porridge or something, okay? And now I'm basically done, okay? This meal is also good if you're on the go, okay? You can make this, put it in a damn Tupperware container, take it with you, and when you get to work, throw it in the refrigerator. Okay, it's easily digested. You might even want to, fuck around with trying this as like a post-workout meal because, you could see the consistency here. Okay, especially since I put so much fucking mayonnaise and so much mustard in. Because of the consistency, you could actually take this as like a post-workout meal. It's almost like, liquefied. It's almost like easy to digest as though you drank it. Okay, we're done. Macronutrients. Yeah, I just want to go ahead and say that, like I said, I got 20 grams of protein, okay, per can of tuna, so this is going to be 40 grams. You got about maybe 1 gram of fat from every can of tuna, so you're looking at 2 grams of fat from that. The mayo, be really careful. Somebody decided to hook me up and they're like, hey, I got this mayo with olive oil in it and I don't want to eat it, so do you want to have it? I'm like, yeah, I'll check it out. The thing is, this is not just mayonnaise made with olive oil. That's what they wrote here. But if you look at, you got to read, and I'm going to have a whole video about how to read the nutrition facts. If you look at it, this is low fat. Who the hell wants to eat goddamn reduced fat? The only reason I'm putting mayonnaise in here, other than the taste, is to increase the fat. So fucking, what the fuck are you thinking making reduced fat mayonnaise? It's like stupid, okay? And to do this, they're putting shit in here like sugar, okay? Modified food starch, maltodextrin, flour, shit like that. So this actually, every tablespoon of this is going to have 2 grams of carbs, okay? So that would be just 4 grams of carbs just from the mayo. Plus, you're missing out on the fat, which is the only reason, like I said, macronutrient-wise, not just taste, to put mayonnaise in here, okay? What you're basically looking at is, you're looking at about 40 grams of protein, going to put up about 20 grams of fat, maybe add a couple grams of fat for the tuna. And like I said, mustard is basically nothing, no macronutrients whatsoever, no calories whatsoever. From the jalapenos, 1 jalapeno is like, let's say 0.83 grams of carbs. So let's say, if you use a whole jalapeno, put at the maximum, like calculating this high, you might have 1 gram of carbs just from the jalapenos. And you might have 1 gram of carbs from the onion. Okay, so it's extremely low carbs. Relatively high fat and very high in protein.